Hello, I'm Charlie Johnson with Maverick Boat Group, and I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing for the Maverick, Hewes, and Pathfinder brands. And I'm standing here in front of our Pathfinder 2700 Open. This is the boat we brought out a couple years ago. Really unique design, both from the hull and up on the deck. Really cool layout, so if you'll spend a couple minutes with me, I'll walk you through the whole thing. So starting off with the hull, this boat is a super high performance boat. It's all vacuum infused construction, which makes it really, really strong. Very and light, but really strong for its weight. Double stepped hull here. So high performance hull there, a lot of speed, certainly a lot of fuel efficiency, especially in the higher RPM ranges. You'll notice it's a bit taller than your standard bay boat size hull. So this hull is designed for big open water running, and especially with putting a Yamaha 425 on it. The boat is really fast, has a bunch of range. Standard fuel cell, I believe, is 96 gallons. You can put an upgraded auxiliary tank in it for 128 gallons. And so you got plenty of range with that 425 and tons of speed as well. So this boat is truly a hybrid bay boat. And what we mean by that is basically you have sort of a forward section that's much more similar to a traditional bay boat with raised decks, so you get that nice elevated platform to fish in shallow water. But then the back end of the boat, we'll get to that in a minute, is wide open, much more like a center console. So it sort of combines those two benefits of the bay boat, where you have the elevated front deck area, and then the back end, we have that wide open area, the center console. So you can see as I step up, very easy transition, not a great big step there moving forward. We have a big dedicated anchor locker, huge space in there. We'll fit a rod and chain and big anchor very easily. This is a great boat for fishing patch reefs and that kind of stuff where you're going to need an anchor a lot of times. You can also, with the new GPS trolling motors like this Rodan here, you can use the GPS on it and anchor lock in that. No problem at all with the Rodan reaching the water, staying in the water, even in a heavy chop. So boats typically almost 100% of them are rigged with that longer shaft trolling motor for just those kind of applications. Like I said, big anchor locker here, nice storage compartment here. All these are lockable. Okay, right there you can see all the storage compartments inside are lighted. You have interior premium interior finish here on the underside of the lid. All the hinges, not only are they back nutted, but they're so they're through bolted through there, but they also go through metal that's laminated in the lids themselves. So double reinforcement there. That's a great storage compartment, big, deep. You see the big lid troughs here, so evacuates water, so that's going to stay super dry. So I move back down here to this second level. This is a great big fish box, okay? You can get it macerated as an option, but otherwise it drains right into the bilge. It is insulated, so it'll stay and keep that ice nice and cool for a long period of time. If you aren't using it for a fish box, obviously it can be used as dry storage as well. All right, closing that. Big floor storage compartment right here. A lot of people use that for PFDs, bumpers, that sort of stuff. Also, just after that is where you'd have that auxiliary fuel tank I talked about. That it gives you that upgrade level of fuel. Some neat touches. Also have wash down up here forward. It's really nice because obviously this is the place where you're going to be doing your cast netting typically, that kind of thing. Throw the net, bring it overboard. You might bring some grass in with you, that sort of stuff. You can go ahead and spray that down right up front and have that go back. You also have a secondary wash down back in the back, as well as if you want to do a optional freshwater wash down. But that's a really nice touch under there. Also, you can see the JL speakers. We offer the JL stereo packages as an option. So as I move back, look at how spacious this whole thing is. Big bunch of area here before I get back to this great, huge seat back here and cooler. You could fit two people here. A nice contoured backrest, double stitch with that chevron stitching. That's very nice. This is a really nice big cooler you can see there. Tons of insulation, keeps ice cold for a long time, drinks, all that good stuff, but really big, nice. Obviously, if you don't have anything in there, you could use that as dry storage too. All right, close that lid there. Once again, notice how wide this passageway is here. You can see our big second station. This is an option on the boat, but probably about 90% of these 27 opens get this second station. So moving back here to the console, this is an excellent use of space. It's not too big where it doesn't take up too much room, but it's big enough, eats up all the componentry you want on there. So comes standard with the cup holders, never have enough of those. Compass, always nice to have as a backup. 16-inch Garmin here. There's your JL head unit, power pole remote. You can also get a VHF in here as well. Sometimes people will put the VHF, if they were to do a hardtop or something like that, in the hardtop box. Pathfinder switch panel with everything lighted, so labeled, so you know exactly what switch is which. It's very intuitive, very easy to see. You got the big Yamaha gauge here that matches up to that 425, which also can be a combo unit. You can even use that as a GPS as well. Super comfortable setup. Okay, this person opted for an upgrade Etson steering wheel, which is a really nice touch, obviously in black. You have the tilt helm here with the jack plate blinker style switch. That's standard on the boat. That allows you to move that switch up and down without ever taking your hand off the wheel. Also, you never have to take your hand off the throttle because it's right here and easy in hands reach. Got the trim tabs with the indicator switches on them, or the indicator lights. Autopilot, which is an upgrade feature that you can get with that 425, and also that joystick feature, which is a really nice feature as well. A lot of people think, you know, that you only use the joystick for twins, but there's a bunch of great functionality that comes with this, with the single, in terms of like drift point and set points. A lot of really neat things you can do to really enhance your fishing a whole bunch by just using that engine to keep you in certain situations where you keep a particular heading or keep a particular bearing, drift in a certain direction with the wind, still be able to keep your lines out and that kind of stuff. So this is a really nice feature. Now the little glove box down here, which I really like. It's always great to have places close to the helm here where you can put your wallet or your keys or your cell phones, that kind of stuff. We got this standard setup here on the boat with the convertible Lebron helm seats, which are super comfortable. Obviously you can move them up and down, use them either as a leaning post or as just a regular seat. Hey, with the armrests that go back and forth, I like that a bunch, because if you're seated in the seat and you have a line go off or something, you can get around that corner really easily by moving that up and out of the way. Underneath this whole assembly is where the batteries preside. You'll also have in here as well your battery chargers for the house battery. You also have a little tackle tray set up in there as well. So really functional piece, okay? And then moving back, all the way back to the back end of the boat here, okay? Get into the standard live well setup, which is a really trick looking live well with the big aquarium windows in it. This is 42 gallons, so huge amount of capacity there. Obviously it's got this big, nice big lid, acrylic lid here, so you can see in there and make sure all the bait's doing well. Notice how big an opening that is, so it's really easy to get in and out. Also easy to get that net in and out of there as well. A lot of times on these kind of setups, you're gonna have a really little opening. You're gonna have rod racks over. It's gonna be really hard to get a net in and out, or even just a bait net, you know, for getting single baits out. Continuing to move back, right below me here are more fish boxes. So you have that forward fish box. You have these two aft fish boxes. You can get those macerated to plumb overboard if you want. But I don't know of a single 27-foot boat that has this much macerated fish box space. And like I said, if you don't use it for fish boxes, you can use it for storage too. So really great setup here. This is a really cool feature on this boat, is this bilge access here. See how that whole door comes up? So really you can crawl in there. You can see that is a finished bilge in there. Everything, the rigging is really, really nice. Everything is tied up. It's very easy to see what's what, very easy to get in there and maintain that whole area, but just a really, really nice setup in there. And because you have this big door, super easy to get in there. There is a dedicated 5-gallon bucket, little indent here where you can put your 5-gallon bucket in for your cast nets, but you can put your cast nets in other places as well. So even the floor boxes, like I said, if you're not putting fish in there. Have another standard live well in the boat right back here. This is a little smaller well. It works great as a pitch well, or even just a well if you're not going to put a bunch of baits in there, or maybe just a few big ones. And so what you do is this allows you to basically keep a couple baits in here, grab them very quickly, pitch them out the back of the boat, where you don't have to get into that big well and chase around a few baits, okay? You could keep your net right in here, boom, go. That's how I like to use that, and it really works well, all right? So as we get back to the back, and I'm talking about all this stuff, notice this is that area I was talking about that's much more akin to a center console, and the reason we call it the 2700 open is because you have this big back open deck area and no raised deck, so you can get all the way to the back end of the boat. You can fish out the back. You're still nice and secure. You're down inside the boat. The gunnel height is absolutely perfect, where you feel very comfortable, but secure. Also, it's just the right height where I can still work over the sides and gap fish very easily, or grab leaders and that sort of thing, and still feel secure, which is an important thing. Oftentimes you'll get too high here and it's very hard to work over the gunnels, but this is the perfect height. We designed it for that very thing. We also have, as an option, these seats in the back end. All right, these are really nice piece of equipment. You can see they fold out like this, super comfortable. This is an option, mind you. A number of people just like to go without it, and they'll just use bean bags back here. Bean bags that you ride in, then you take them out and you can put them in the head when you're finished at the end of the day. Or you're finished riding, and want to fish or something like that. So, but nonetheless, either alternative's a great setup. These are really comfortable and very high quality pieces. So, more washdowns over here, freshwater washdown, that freshwater tanks, 9-gallon tank. It's under the floor right here, so very accessible. And then all the way at the back end, you have that Yamaha 425. You can put the 425 on it, or we also have people putting the 300s on it. The difference between the two, if you're inclined to have a number of people in the boat, have all your live wells full, that kind of stuff, like running long distances, maybe at a faster clip, the 425 makes a lot of sense. If you're going to run the boat light, as I would call it, not with the well's always full, not with as many people on board, the boat runs surprisingly well with that F300. So a couple great engine packages. A lot of people do the dual power poles, as you can see. See, that's the thing about this boat. I mean, it really does great double duty. You can inshore fish out of it, and then you can offshore fish too. And really, you can do that all in one day because it has all the ability to house all the rods, has all the storage capacities to house all that gear, and all the great fish boxes to house all the fish you're going to catch. So just a really neat setup, and a boat that's doing very well for us. So another neat thing that we've done about this whole console is just how well we used all this space. We have a head down in here, an optional head, all right? But you have the door, easy to get down in, big wide opening, head in there. That's an option. Like I said, it's a pump out head. You don't have to do that. If you don't do that, it's just more storage. So, but on the boat this size, a lot of people like a head, so we provided it, and we did it without having to make this console take up too much space, and you still have that great fishing room around it. So if you're located in the South Florida area, make sure to stop by Bob Hewes Boats and check out this new Pathfinder 2700. It is a boat that is perfectly suited for the fishery in this area, and Bob Hewes Boats will take great care of you.